Meanwhile, while investigators work to find the cause of the deadly D.C. crash, President Trump is ordering a review of DEI in aviation, warning it may have played a role in this tragedy.
Peter Doocy is at the White House with all the details on this story.
Hey guys, Peter Doocy is saying that Donald Trump is literally turning everything upside down. Absolutely crazy things that he says in this video I'm going to show you. And then he also shows the difference between disaster response under Donald Trump and Biden, which was absolutely crazy, guys. You don't want to miss this video.
Good morning. And President Trump is saying he thinks he inherited a transportation system that was made less safe by the last transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg.
You know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. The Department of Transportation, his government agency charged with regulating civil aviation. Well, he runs it, 45,000 people, and he's run it right into the ground with his diversity.
Buttigieg responded to that, saying, "Despicable. As families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We put safety first, drove down close calls, grew air traffic control, and had zero commercial airline crash fatalities out of millions of flights on our watch." President Trump now oversees the military and the FAA. One of his first acts was to fire and suspend some of the key personnel who helped keep our skies safe. That is something that White House officials dispute. And you look at this full screen, there have been a lot of changes in federal hiring practices from Trump 1 to Biden to now Trump 2. The president is saying, though, he thinks DEI hiring practices prioritized placing unqualified workers in jobs over safety.
Do you even yet know the names of the 67 people who were killed? And you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane? You think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families?
They are
a
a group of
DEI
people that have
policies?
lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question.
President Trump knows more about the players involved in this midair collision than we do. And we just don't know exactly right now what he knows about the players involved that is helping him reach this conclusion that he thinks that DEI practices contributed to what happened. Back to you.
Hey, Peter, were you astounded by the level of communication? I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah, we don't normally see the president in the briefing room.
And
The
cabinet
Secretary
members.
of Defense, Secretary of Transportation,
Vice President.
NTSB. It was amazing.
Well, yeah, and it took us 3.5 years to get Joe Biden into the briefing room for any reason. And it was after he had already said that he wasn't going to run for anything anymore. But President Trump wants to, and it's not just because this happened pretty much literally in his backyard, like within view of his balcony from the White House residence. He just is showing us that he wants to have his fingerprints on every big national story. And this is something that he and his team, Sean Duffy and Pete Hegseth, their first hours on the job, are going to have to deal with immediately to make people feel safe. And it is a change. I think the way that this used to work for the last couple of years, we would probably get a lot of lower level communication staffers briefing us, doing a telephone background briefing, something on Zoom where we can't show their faces or use their names, but we can say we got information on background. Whereas Trump is doing it essentially upside down. Start with the people at the top. This guy's in charge of the Pentagon. This guy's in charge of the transportation department. I am the commander in chief. This is what we think. And so, and now they are going to let us know in real time what they're going to do.
He'll let you do a story and actually complete it by 6 o'clock.
Well, yeah, if your job is to cover what the president says, it helps a lot if the president says a lot.
Something.
Thanks, Peter, for breaking that
Peter.
down.
Appreciate
it.
Peter was talking about DEI, and we heard the president saying that might be an issue here. The FAA launched a national outreach program under Obama for DEI, and it included a push to hire workers with severe intellectual disabilities and psychiatric problems. There's also a lawsuit from last year, 2024, that alleged that the FAA turned away nearly 1,000 air traffic controller applicants solely based on race.
That is insane, to be low on people on a high impact job and to turn people away. Meanwhile,
go ahead, bro.
I was just going to say that.
Well, hold on. Before he says that, guys, I do want to say, and guys, you don't want to miss the rest of this clip. Representative Nels is going to come on here in a second, and he's calling for oversight after this deadly crash. So I want you to see what he has to say. But back to the main question here, DEI in aviation. The real question is, has it been and is it compromising safety? Should diversity hiring ever come before qualifications in high-risk jobs? Maybe you got a different opinion on this, guys. Leave it down in the comments below. While you're at it, guys, do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up like button. It helps out the channel, gets this video out to more people. But the FAA under Biden expanded DEI hiring. They even prioritize applicants with severe intellectual disabilities and psychiatric issues. A 2024 lawsuit revealed that nearly 1,000 qualified air traffic controllers were turned away solely due to race. Absolutely crazy, mind-boggling. When lives are on the line, shouldn't competency be the only factor? Guys, this gets me so heated. Shouldn't competency be the only factor in hiring decisions? I mean, Trump is putting a stop to this reckless prioritization of diversity over safety because pilots and passengers deserve the best, not the most politically correct workforce. Absolutely crazy what's happening, guys. Hey, do me a big favor again. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. All right, I want to show y'all Representative Nels here, guys, as he's calling for oversight after this deadly crash. Crazy stuff.
Troy Nels was on with you earlier, and he said this about the air traffic controller situation. Keep in mind, the federal government's running the Reagan Airport. Watch.
The DCA, which is the Reagan Airport where this took place, their air traffic control staffing shows that they need 30 personnel to operate that air traffic control tower. It's a very busy airport. They say there are about 19 currently on staff. So we have a staffing issue at the Reagan Airport, DCA. DCA, very busy airport. We have 800 flights inbound and outbound each and every day at Reagan Airport. And overall, I believe our safety record is the gold standard. But when we have an issue like this, it needs to be addressed. There needs to be some oversight from Congress. We need to make sure that if these airports are struggling with air traffic controllers, they bring it to our attention and we can try to encourage more younger people to get into that field.
So, I struggle with this DEI stuff. I covered DEI when I ran campus reform. Maybe it had the original intent was good, but it's gone way too far. I understand organic diversity. I understand that some people at one point in time in history, or maybe today, were denied jobs because they're qualified, because of the race, sexual orientation, or whatever. I understand that. But why are we trying to get people with mental disabilities to work air traffic control? I mean, there is a place for them in society, but a lot of the diversity push just doesn't make sense. It's not a value of diversity in air traffic control. It just doesn't. The one thing that we need to focus on is the person qualified for the job.
Yep.
Does their diverse background bring them some additional information to the job? But just hiring people to meet different metrics doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
Right. The last thing I would say, it reminds me of the story we had the LA fires, where that fire chief was saying, we want people to know that if you're in a fire, there's somebody coming to save you that looks like you. No, I'd like somebody that's good at saving people. I just don't want to burn. Right. Yeah.
I just don't want to burn.
I want to live. I don't want to burn to death. All right, so NBC has a story, and the headline is, Fear and chaos grip federal workers as Trump rapidly remakes the government. Donald Trump has said, as you know, we've been covering this, he wants to end the work from home practices. So he offered the deferred resignation where you get paid through September if you resign by February 6th. There are only 6% of our federal workers that are working full time in an office. So that's why Donald Trump is doing this. Now you have these Democrats that are saying we're living in fear. Everything's so chaotic. But my question to them is, are you fearful about lower prices? Are you fearful about tax breaks? Are you fearful about not paying tips? Not paying taxes on tips or Social Security checks or on your overtime. Many of you work overtime. Are you fearful that Donald Trump's going to get rid of criminal illegal aliens? Why are you scared?
And they're worried about if you're a federal employee, they're worried about their future. Well, because Donald Trump asked Elon Musk to cut $2 trillion out of the budget. They accused Donald Trump of the first 4 years of not cutting like he did. Tax reform, I believe, was working to do that, bring more revenue in, but they never got to the tax cut because of the pandemic. So what he's doing now is to look at the 2.3 million people working for the federal government. They all got emails saying, you can quit, we'll give you 6 months, which, by the way, is way too generous, I think. But come to work, you're fired, or take the 6 months and just write in your subject line, say resigning. So that you should feel fear and loathing if you're not doing a good job. But if you like your job and are doing good at your job, you can keep your job. But this is part of a whole of government push to lean it out and bring our budget in line with $36 trillion in debt. You should not be fearful unless you're coasting. If you're coasting in your job, be fearful. But this is Elon Musk sleeping in the Eisenhower in the office, on the couch, like he did with Tesla, trying to fix it. He's trying to fix the government the way he did SpaceX.
Well, something is obviously going wrong, Ainsley. We just had Americans die because it wasn't properly staffed and they weren't focusing on the right thing. Other agencies are going through something similar. It's just not a harsh job or a deadly job that could cause death, but other harms are happening in the government currently.
It's just sad we had to figure it all out this way.
Wow, guys, there you go again. Trump's leadership versus Biden's bureaucratic disaster. Guys, do me a big favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Join the difference. Because this is what keeps messing with me. How did Biden's transportation department let air traffic control staffing levels drop so low? Reagan Airport, where this crash occurred, is severely understaffed. Did you hear that? It's been operating with only 19 controllers when it needs 30. Guys, that is insane. Absolutely insane. Pete Buttigieg has zero experience in transportation, but he was hired to check a diversity box, and now our skies are suffering because of it. Trump responded to the crisis in hours, and you got to appreciate that, guys, whether you love him or hate him. Donald Trump got there in the press briefing room, right there in the Oval Office, brought in the press and said, guys, I'm here for your questions. Now they're attacking him and jumping on him because of his responses, but you didn't see Biden there. Whenever there was a tragedy or issue or problem or anything, Biden didn't show up. No, he said KJP, right? He never darkened the door of the press briefing room. Absolutely not. But Donald Trump, he stepped in personally. When Biden let his bureaucrats hide behind Zoom briefings, Donald Trump showed up in person. Why does it take a tragedy for Democrats to recognize their policies are failing? In fact, I wouldn't even say they've recognized it. Everybody's still attacking Trump here. But Trump's swift action shows the difference, and I think it revealed it for all of us. You've got to have competence over ideology. You've got to have action over excuses. And that's exactly what we've been seeing with the Donald Trump administration. So very excited to see what he's going to do for the remainder of the 4 years, guys. I just love a president that jumps in and leads, actually leads. Guys, again, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Join the community, guys. Every day we're posting at least 2 videos. That's my target, guys. Get 2 videos pumped out to y'all so that y'all can see exactly what is happening in our country. And guys, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thankful for all the support, guys. I can't believe that we are where we are. 1,200 subscribers. Let's keep pushing, guys. Our next target is 2,000 subscribers. We can do it. Let's get it there, guys. All right. I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take it easy.